sheets, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some of the lobbies for the NBA and the NHL. In this, I mean, what a ridiculous slate this whole thing was. See if anybody we know is doing well. It seems, I mean, I can't imagine who could have figured out this slate. But it's not a question of figuring it out. You know, you put yourself in a position to get lucky when all these guys get ruled out and traded and be there with 30 seconds to post time. It's very difficult. So we'll take a look at that, and we will also do the live lineup build for the PGA. So let's first. What I want to do is I gotta close some of these browsers so that I have you guys available, and then we'll pull all this stuff up. Okay. All right. Let's I guess we'll pull up DraftKings first. I'm gonna end up probably doing more stuff with the PGA than the live sweat, honestly, but we'll see. Let's take a look at DraftKings first. Let's look at the lottery here first, the floor general. We'll see who's not doing well, and that would be me. I mean, I have some guys, but I had a whole bunch of Wemby who totally busted 46 fantasy points in a game that scored 251 points, which is, pretty troubling. But we'll take a look and see what's up. So, I mean, these guys have 1 billion points. These guys have 387 with a complete insane ceiling outcome from Michael Porter Jr. in the offing. He was fortunate enough to benefit from Giannis being ruled out right at lock of his game, and getting a 1.6% owned Damian Lillard with no Giannis. But again, this is probably one of a billion lineups, so it's not as if he picked this on purpose. Nonetheless, I mean, a Kongwu with just a ridiculous ceiling performance at 2%. I mean, you needed like all of this. So he's got this with Porter Jr. 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 We're doing this manually first. Let's take a look at this guy who's got actually 26. So he's got wow. So he's probably the favorite. He's got Porter Jr. and he's got Podziemski. Boy, we didn't find a way to get this right when Kerr basically traded 3 guys with like 20 minutes before lock. I guess you couldn't get to everybody, but this guy started and was 4% owned, and he's smashing. So looks like J187 is, again, just from eyeballing it, probably favored because he's probably going to get 10 more points. Well, maybe not. Maybe he won't get 10 more points out of Podziemski. That's an interesting question. Here, another Porter, but this guy's got Trey Murphy, so he's probably in the ball game. These guys got Braun. Okay, so these guys with the 22 PMRs are definitely in play. Now, what about this guy? What about the Buck? Buck has 33. He's got Braun and Porter and Murphy. So he's the favorite. And this guy with Zion. All right, so this is actually a pretty competitive lottery tournament. So what we're going to try to do. I'll yell it away. It's not nothing to yell at. Whatever. Okay. Let's pull up SaberSim because what I want to do is see if we can get this live contest sim working to see if this could predict better than my, eyeballing who's going to win this fadeaway or whatever they're calling it now. The general, that's what they're calling it today. So let's pull this up and let's just see if we can find this. So this is go to contests, floor general. We'll just click on this, and then we're going to go to users, right? This is the leaderboard. Okay, users. Let's make this. I want to be able to see this. Can't quite see what I want to see here. Should be able to drag this, no? Lineups. Yeah, so I don't know how to pull this across. Well, this is annoying, right? How do we hide this stuff? Beats me. So we're already failing, like in fine style here. But if I can't drag this, then I don't know how I'm gonna move projections out, and then maybe we drag this whole thing this way. Yeah, okay, let's do it this way. Perfect. Okay. Let's sort these by live sim ROI. So this is pretty interesting. So right now, he's got, well, this is by user. We don't want by user. We want by leaderboard, I guess. Leaderboard? No, we want it by user. Oh, this is total entries in. I want to look at all of the lineups and see which one. Let's go back to leaderboard, I guess. If this is the leaderboard, I want it. Actual rank. How about by sim ROI? With listening mine by sim ROI. I want the full leaderboard here. So it looks like this is a failure, and you'd think I would know how to do this by now, but we could do this, right? Live sim ROI. J187, we saw him in there. This is his average ROI. So that lineup that he has. So that lineup that he has that we looked at is probably the favorite. So let's see what that one is again. The JS. Oh, this one. Okay, so he's got 21 PMR. Well, Pazinski just went off in the last like 5 seconds. Oh my God, another one? Yeah, so he's going kind of crazy. So we have a little bit of a weird sweat in the Denver game because Denver is up 19 and there's 8 minutes to go. And the interesting part of the sweat is that we don't know at this point whether Jokic is going to come back in or not. Gordon missed. So every Denver miss now, it's more likely that Jokic come back in. So it's a 17-point game with 7 minutes to go. So in a weird way, if you have Jokic, you're rooting for New Orleans. And yeah, so there's a jump shot by New Orleans, cuts it to 13 or to 15, and they get a timeout. So I think it's likely that Jokic at least gets, some run before it, maybe like a couple of minutes. So this is DraftKings. I am live in something in this. May as well pull this up in the Splash. Let's pull this up. This is I'm like live in a hockey one, but I'm missing some PMR there. So in the Splash, I guess this is where but even this one, this isn't gonna do anything. 3 points out of Levert. Nice job. Very strong. Maswa's got like a zillion points, and with 1 million PMR, he's going to knock through this. Let's look at FanDuel. See if anything good's going on here. Nothing really. So what I'm going to do is I am going to spend the majority of the time going through the live lineup build for for the PGA. This is my best FanDuel one. Let's see, FanDuel shot. You're 55 PMR with 352, but as you'll see when I pull up this looks okay, but when you pull up some of these guys up here, I mean, this is like ridiculous. 407 points. Well, is that great? Hold on. So he's got 407 with 20 minutes left. And I've got 352 with 50. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. No problem. So what I want to do is I do want to do the live lineup builds for the PGA. And so what I have to do is, first thing I'm going to do is I do want to go over my projections here. And just make sure that they are what I want them to be. But I am going to come in here. So let me pull up my projection sheet and we'll take a look at it, because it is kind of a crazy situation here with Scheffler. And before I even run these things, I just want to make sure that I feel comfortable with doing this. What I'm going to be doing, by the way, I am definitely not looking to see what I have, because I think whatever I end up getting, I'm going to be like all upset. And there's Jokic with a 3. That's the good news. Well, it's good news for Jokic owners in that it got him up to, more fantasy points, but now it's more of a blowout. First of all, this we have to fix. First of all, everybody's in the same slate ID. You don't need Kuchar. Like, these are all things I need to kind of clean up here. So let's delete this. We'll save this. We'll upload this on the other page to the website. And then we can get back into the building. And what we're going to do, we're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to, we'll use a couple of different sim products to do this. We're going to start with SaberSim, but I'm trying everything here. I really am. All right, so I just updated the projections. Okay, so when you look at this, before we even upload it, this is just a crazy situation in that you have Scheffler he's projecting like 30 points higher than everybody. I just can't believe that. But I went and I double checked all the models. I double checked everything. And like the numbers are clean. It's not like there's something crazy going on. So unfortunately, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to run my process as Jokic gets another basket. Oh, they're up 20 though. I think he's kind of done. I don't think we're going to get much more out of him. So I'm just going to run this stuff as usual. But again, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to do SaberSim and I'm going to use the Ace Mind. We have to change a couple of things when we put the Ace Mind stuff in. I'll show you what we have to do in a minute. First, let's. You want to do Ace Mind first? Okay, tell you what. We'll do Ace Mind first. Just kind of show you how this one works. It's a little different because you have to specify everything, and that's good and bad. Like there's certain things that SaberSim does for you that Ace Mind does not. But what you get back for that is you get back some flexibility. I say February 6th. Oh, because that's when it starts. Oops. I said dump truck special. So we have to import the projections and there's a file that we use to do that. You have to be very, very specific with the template for Ace Mind. Okay. Launch this thing. Yeah, Excel's been rather annoying. Okay, so the first thing I have to specify, I don't want the standard deviation of ownership. I want the standard deviation of the player. So I have to fix that. And I also need to convert this make cut percentage from 0.68 into 68 point. It's just a weird convention that I use. So let me go and do that. First of all, the make cut percentage, the standard deviation of the player, I had that somewhere. I think over here. Let me just see on this page. Standard deviation of player. I have it. Okay, it's right here. So what I want to do is I want to do this. I want to manually put all this stuff in again. So let's do forget the let's do it this way. So DFS set we'll upload it directly from here. Okay, let's go down here. So DFS player ID first. And we're just putting it in that other folder. Now we have to put the name file, which is here. We don't need Matt Kuchar. And then we need fantasy points. And where do I keep the fantasy points? Over here, right? So let's take these, put fantasy points over here. And then ownership, we're going to put, so this is my own ownership is all the way over here in W. So we'll take this. And again, this is like one of the unfortunate downsides to Ace Mind is that you have to input everything. I mean, like you have to tell it what to do. I mean, almost all of these things. So if you're really sharp and know how to, where to grab all this from, great. But okay, and then this standard deviation of ownership. Yeah, let's put that over there. No, I don't want standard deviation. I just want standard deviation. So I'll show you how to change that. So this is just standard deviation. Actually, let's call it standard dev. And now we got to go win percentage. Then we have to change the convention. So we'll go win percentage. Show you what we're doing here. Put the win percentage over here for now, right? We're going to change this in a second. And then make cut percentage. I'm going to take this. And we'll put it in over there. But then you see what we have. We have to multiply all these things times 100. So let's do this times 100. And then we're going to do this. Watch this. So equals this times 100. And then we're going to copy all these down. Okay, and then we're going to copy this whole thing. Put this in here. Okay. And now we at least have a file that we can import into Ace Mind. So that was, listen, as far as process goes, it's definitely laborious to say the least. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's put this into Ace Mind. Everything looks good. Oh, so let's define the win probability, win percentage. Good. Field points, we're going to use the projection value, and now we're ready to go. So see, it changed all these to the correct conventions, like win probability, make cut probability, field projection. My projection is the same. We're going to use 5 generations of sims. We have the correct fields put in. and we are going to just run this bad boy. So we're going to hit run, and then we'll just kind of watch it go in the background. And so what we're going to do is we're going to play 75 lineups using this for the 150. We're going to use 75 lineups using the Ace Mine Sims, and we're going to play 75 using the Saber Sims. Again, we're just trying everything and just showing you different ways to play. It's not the best from a portfolio management perspective, right? Because technically the Sabres, one build should feed off of what the other build does to properly diversify your risk, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So it is routing. I don't know how long this is going to take. So in the meanwhile, we'll go ahead into the Saber Sim world, and we'll do those. Okay. Now, first thing I want to do is make sure that, so what I did was I already updated lineups into my contests. So what this does, it saved the entry information of those contests so that I could run my sims effectively. It's loading entries. I mean, everything about Saber Sim tonight is annoying me. Actually, is this even the right slate? Still says loading entries. Let's just, I guess, start over. It doesn't really matter. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to replace the Saber Sim projections with mine. You don't have to do this. Okay. Let's use add with the same name, I guess. All right. Set this to 100. And let's just build. So we're going to build 5,000 lives over there. Let's check on Ace Mines. Yeah, Ace Mine is struggling, And also it says 938 NGs. This is not actually the tournament that I even wanted. So we're gonna go back and start over here. Dump Truck Special. Why is this max entry 938? Oh, this is the 888. I don't even want this anyway. I wanted the People's Open Special anyway. So let's do that. Projections are in there. Let's hit run. And it looks as though Ace Mine is just kind of failing on me. I apologize for this tonight. I mean, this is one of the issues when you rely on external technologies. So we have our 5,000 lineups, and I have just no interest in knowing what our exposures are. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to run the Sims. But the question is what do I run them against? Do I run them against the Saber Sims, for example? Or do I run them against our builds? This is a good question. Do I trust the Saber Sim fields rather than my ownership projections? Well, you know what? Let's just make sure that we can even upload them with my own custom ones first. Because for some sports you can, for some sports that you can't. Let's just screw around with this. Yeah, so here, again with the Adam Hadwin, I don't know what's going on with this. So ignore all. So here, it's just going to say automatically create custom fields for my ownerships. And I actually really like my ownership projections this week. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this. And what it's going to happen here is we're going to put custom 4, I guess, custom 1715. And we will hit here. And so what this is going to do, it's going to create a field based on my ownerships. And this is a major question that you have to ask whenever you're running these sims: is what fields do you use as your, representative field? You could certainly, use the Saber Sim defaults, and whether you change to your own really depends on what you trust more, whether it be the Saber Sim ownerships or your own. Let's see. So Ace Mind is failing. Okay. So it created this field. Okay. So what we're going to do, we built our 5,000 lineups. And then what we're going to do is select our, we're going to select for the lottery, or we could do them for all, like field lineups. We're going to use custom 1715. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the same field lineups for all of these. Actually, let's for the other ones, let's use the Saber Sim ones for everything but the lottery. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we are going to just fire it. Okay. We're going to go back to here. I'm going to answer MD's question in a minute. Okay. Let's hit run contest sim. And then here's the key. Let's really have no interest in seeing who we have here. I mean, honestly, that'll end up driving me to lunatic asylum. So let's, so we're done, right? So the next thing I want to do is I do want to go min uniques, as many as I can, before I really affect this median destination ROI. So let's go from min uniques 1 to min uniques 2. That only reduced the average median destination ROI by 3%. And that one made it to go down by 12. So let's go back to min uniques 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to autofill, and we're going to sort these by fee. So what this is going to do is, again, if there's a lineup that's going to appear in all of these contests, then it's going to prioritize the dump truck and so on. Then the par 4, then the driver, then this one and this one. So let's just go, boom, save the contests. Download. And then, and I'm getting your question, MD. I'm going to answer it too, by the way. Okay. So we're going to upload these, and we're good to go. And I don't care who we have. We're going to look tomorrow. Ace Mind is just stalled on me. And I want to talk about what I just did. All right. I'm going to do FanDuel also, by the way. Same thing. You might think I'm just either like showing off or just being silly by just not looking at who I have. But this is actually a really big deal for me. I mean, for me, if I really trust my projections and trust my process, then it shouldn't matter to me what comes out on the other end of the process. Once I start getting into, well, I know I had a good process, but now I really don't feel like having more than 13% of XYZ, then you're just kind of cheating yourself. You're cheating your process by doing that. So that's why I'm inclined to just not look. So let's do FanDuel, and we'll do the exact same thing with FanDuel. I already uploaded my dummy lineups in there just so I had something. And then we will hit FanDuel Sim. Ooh. I don't know what that is. What the hell is this? Okay, that's fine, I guess. That's kind of crazy. All right. So let's build these. And Sheets is asked, all right, Sheets, do you like Minwoo Lee or Fitz better tomorrow? All right, so I am presuming, MD, a couple of things, that we're talking about DraftKings, unless you tell me otherwise. Number two, I'm going to presume that you mean in the lottery tournament. I don't know. I imagine because you're saying all in, I presume that that's some GPP that requires that you're going to put multiple entries in. You wouldn't say I'm going all in if it was just one single entry. I'm presuming. So we're going to look at it from the point of view of a big GPP and on DraftKings. Okay. Now the other thing is that I'm going to dispense with my usual speech here. Okay. And whether you're trolling or not, you're like, oh, you're showing up here, and you're saying, oh, I'm going all in on whoever you like, whatever you say, I'm going all in on. And I know that you're like, you're not really going to do that. And I know that, I know that or should know what I would normally say to something like that. I would say, don't listen to what I say, don't go all in because of that. And but I know, listen, you seem sharp, so there's just no way that you really mean this. But I'm just kind of over it. So I am going to answer the question. Let's before I do that, let's run this contest sim over here, and we're just going to, for this one, just use the Saber Sim ownerships because I am not as confident in my FanDuel ones. So let's do this, and then we will get to the big question of the day. Minwoo Lee or Fitz? Yeah, you got it, MD. I'm giving it to you, and it's a lock, whichever one I tell you. Minwoo Lee or Fitz? Are they even close to the same price? I have no idea. We're gonna check in a minute. Okay, so autofill. But let's do the same thing we did before. Let's go into median destination ROI and see how many min uniques we need to have here. Yeah, we can go min uniques 3 over here. 2-player props. What's your question? I'm telling you, I'll answer anything tonight. I mean, even stuff I have no idea about. All right, so we're gonna put the monster up at the top. So you want my favorite 2-player prop? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Similar price. All right, we'll pull it up. So FanDuel is up, and I have no idea who we have, which is good. All right, so let's pull up the projections. Let's just start with that, right? Let's and we'll answer your question too, Timmy. We'll take a look at it. So let's look at we'll sort by fantasy points. And who are we looking at? Minwoo Lee and who? And Matt Fitzpatrick. So Matt Fitzpatrick, you do get 200 more. Fitzpatrick is 200 less. However, I have him with a slightly better projection than Minwoo Lee, and he is 200 cheaper. So what that will do is not only do you get a little better projection if you just played him over Minwoo Lee, but if you leave that 200 on the table, you're going to get more unique as well. You're going to compete. You're almost certainly going to have a unique lineup, regardless who else you have. So the answer to my question is, if I had to go all in one of these two, well, let's start with Matt Fitzpatrick, but then I would like to dive a little more into that. I want to see if I can answer that question a little better. Let me go into another one of my sheets here. And remember we did this before. We talked about standard deviation. Let's see. if any of these guys had, hang on a minute. Let's take a look at these guys. So let's look at Minwoo Lee. He's number 44. Minwoo Lee's standard deviation is 28.51. Let's remember that. And Matt Fitzpatrick is number 38. He's 28.92. Wait, so he's 28.92. What did I say Minwoo Lee was? 28.92 versus 28.51. So actually, he's also got a higher standard deviation than Minwoo Lee, which is also good for GPPs. Next thing, let's look at, by the way, let's look at the ownership of both these guys. Minwoo Lee at 10, and Matt Fitzpatrick is a little more owned, so that offsets it a little bit, but I don't think enough. I still think that between these two, Matt Fitzpatrick would be my preferred play between those two. What else? Here's another thing. As long as we're here, let's see if we can't click on these guys and see what else we can learn about these two dudes. Let's look at Minwoo Lee. We'll click on him. Let's see if it does anything. So Minwoo Lee, this is his kind of distribution of results. And you do see that he's got, 17% of the sims are like really, really low. We don't really care too much about that. What we really care about is what happens when he does well. So we'll remember this one over here, and we'll compare that to somebody else. Let's go back to Fitzpatrick, and we'll take a look at him. We'll see what this one looks like. It's probably going to look pretty similar. Well, hold on. So this one actually, so Fitzpatrick has these two bars over here. I wish I remembered. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's see if we can remember it this way. Hold on. You can't really compare them, which is annoying. So what we do is we'll take screenshots. Hold on. Here, let's do this. Take a screenshot of this. Boom. Okay. So we remember. And then we will do Minwoo Lee. This is Minwoo Lee. Well, where'd my clipboard go? Let's do this again. Okay, ready? What's this? So you asked, right? All right. So Minwoo Lee, we're gonna put in this file. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll just go back to Fitzpatrick. We'll compare these two and see what these look like. All right, so what would I rather have? Something like this or something like this? Well, you might think that this one's a little worse because this one's a little worse because it's got more of these sims like down here, but we actually prefer that in GPPs. We prefer more of a distribution out here. We don't care too much about this. So I think no matter how we slice this, I think that the answer is still Fitz. Okay. All right. 2 player props. Scotty round 1 finish prediction. Scotty round 1 finish prediction. I wonder if we can get that from SaberSim for the hell of it. Let's just see something. Just since you asked, let's go to round 1. Can we determine from this like what his average finishing position is going to be after round one? I guess not from this, right? Well, here, win percentage, right? Percentage of simulation when he won the tournament. All right, so let's do this. Okay, how about this? Ready? What's this? Okay, we're gonna do this. We're just gonna run a sim for the showdown tomorrow, and we're gonna see what his obviously his most likely result is going to be first, I believe. If you had to pick one spot, but that's not what we're trying to do. Let's go into, we'll use the pitch and putt. Add contest sim, save settings, and then go back to here. Can't run the sim yet unless we put something in. I don't even know. Hold on, let's see. Let's just do this. Let's there it is, run contest sim. All right. So we're gonna run the sim. You're thinking of taking sim top 10 in the first round. All right, let's take a look at it. And what we're going to do, we're not even going to, let's just see. No, because it's going to go by lineups, isn't it? Shoot. So I don't think we're going to be able to do this. Let's download these player projections and let's just see what kind of information we get here. I mean, get how many lineups, what were the chances in a winning lineup? That's not what you're asking. So let's see what we have here. So this is 100% outcome. DM, make cut, bogey free, birdie score. Top, it doesn't have win percentage, which is like annoying. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to kind of have to do it by feel, I suppose. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, you want to go by feel here? You want to have some fun? You want to degen a little bit? All right, we'll degen a little bit. Let's go to some of these prop here. I'll tell you, I'll go in with you guys. I'm going to play for $353 of degenning. Okay, how about that? Let's go into Sportsbook, log in. Let's log in first. Okay. Checking location. That's good news. Oh, God, we do this again? Yeah, that's true too. By the way, that is very true. But I think we're just degenning here. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of these. Golf, Phoenix Open. Now you keep something in mind, okay? And this is Sheets lesson 1, okay? Sheets lesson 1 is that all props are terrible. Everyone. It's by design. You know what I mean? Like, and the way they're all terrible, among others. I mean, unless they have like an alternative, like unless you could book the other side, then I promise you they're beyond terrible. If they give you like a yes and a no, at least if they give you like a spread, you'll see what you're paying, like how bad of a bet it is. Like if you could say Scheffler does not win and have to lay, 400 or something, then you're getting raped, but it's not like the end of the world. Okay? Here, like I promise you that when you add all this stuff up, and now you're talking about like what their hold is and things like that. These things, by their definition, are just atrocious. But we can all agree on that before we get involved. Now I know what you're going to say. Well, sometimes the projections. Okay, fine. But I promise you, I don't want to promise you because listen, people do it. But these particular types of props, not the point things during the week where you can find some soft lines, but these types of things are just throwing money in the trash can. But with that said, listen, let's go. So, what do you want to do? And I also promise you, Timothy, that all Scheffler props are particularly bad. Always at the top of the list is always going to be bad. And with that said, I'm like 1 for 1 in props this year. Remember the one that I did? No, I don't remember. I did like the best performing Spanish golfer in some like event or something. And I had Rahm and I laid like minus 150. I had to beat like 5 guys I've never heard of. And I'm sure that it was a bad bet, but it just felt like I couldn't lose. But nonetheless, it was definitely a bad bet. Ooh, Adam, now we're talking here. Now we're talking. Now here's the question. Like, let's just say there were a market, Fitzy versus Minwoo Lee, and you were MD, for example, what would you do with that? Would you use? Let's just say if one way to handle that is if you really were convinced to go all in on Fitz, you could use this market to hedge and play Minwoo head to head against Fitz. But keep in mind that you're not you're not betting on fantasy points. He's one versus the other. You're betting on finishing points, and yes, that correlates, but not not purely. So let's by the way, let's take a look at this. Let's look at the win odds of those two guys. So you have Minwoo Lee was at 65-1, and you had Fitzpatrick at 55-1. So Fitzpatrick actually has better lower win odds. So he's expected by the betting markets to win more often than Minwoo Lee, and he's a lower price. By the way, that's partially why his projection is. Well, his projection is even better than this discrepancy. Actually, it's not better than this discrepancy. His projection would indicate that they should be pretty much the same win odds, except for, again, the distribution of results thing that we talked about before. Let's just make sure these are all kosher. So Fitzpatrick is a little bit more likely to win than Minwoo Lee in the win pool. Same in the place pool, so to speak, and then the show pool. It's also pretty much the same. So we could play winner, top 5, top 10. Anybody stand out here? Well, you know what I used to do? I used to do this. So let's pull up just my sheet, okay? And just quite simply, we're going to make that terrible assumption that fantasy points correlate perfectly to win odds or to win rates. So what I want to do is I'm ranking these guys by pure fantasy points, and then I want to see like where the outlier is. So see, Scheffler's first. You know what I mean? Like, so I just want to see like who I might have ranked higher here that falls in the actual betting markets. You're not gonna. Here's a tip. You're not gonna find a lot by doing this because fantasy points that's partially dependent on this. Let me just see, where is there? So this one could be interesting. All right, so here's a little value. So I have McIntyre 9th best fantasy point projection, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th best win odds. So if you believe that my projections and fantasy points correlate to win odds, then on a relative basis, Robert McIntyre would be a good play. Okay, and I just might do that. Now here's something where you actually could. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Adam Perry. Like those are the things that look awesome. We're gonna pull that up in a minute. All right. So when you look at this, the raw projections, I think for the actual main slate, that it has to give percent chance of winning, doesn't it? Oh, I actually had that, right? Win percent. I actually had that in my sheet, didn't I? Yeah. That's actually so here, actually. So win percentage, the one that I put up there, we have to multiply this by 100, right? To get, oh no, these are the actual percentages, right? So let's take a look and see where we can't find some value based on my projections. Actually, these aren't my projections. These are just the win percentage. So where can we find value here in the betting markets? That is going to be based on my kind of like aggregated win percentage projections here. Let's just take a look. And we have to convert these, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass. So you think about this, like this is how bad it is. I have Scheffler at 22% winning chances, so I should get plus 400, and we're getting plus 275. Your Justin Thomas, I have him 5%, so I should be getting 20-1. I'm getting plus 1,400. It's a complete joke. You know what I mean? It's a colossal joke. And when you go through these, I just want to just make sure that these add. I mean, these are. I presume these are going to add. I mean, even get more so. Okay, so to find a situation where they're going to project with better win odds that the futures market is going to assign you, and this is a good enough description of why you should never bet these props. How about like Corey Connors, 2% winning chances, so you should be getting 5,000. It's actually not that bad at plus 4,500. Okay, that's actually not the worst. So I'm just curious, like if where the first value would be. Burns 3%, 33, whatever. So these are just ridiculous. Okay. So we're not betting anybody to win. We just can't do it. I mean, but just because I've proven that these are just terrible, terrible bets. But how about, like you said, let's see where were those the nationality props? That was the one that I won. Oh, so do you have a UK one? I don't have a UK one. All I have top Korean, top Canadian, and top American. Yeah, I don't have the UK ones. Let's see golfer props. Yeah, I bet you're right, Adam. I bet you're right. Player X to make a hole in one. That's great. To lead after round one and win, particularly like each person. So this is a single game parlay. It's correlated, right? Because if you lead after round one, you're likely, obviously more likely to win than if you didn't. So Scheffler, so you want to figure out the odds of him winning round one? Well, okay. Oh, you could bet. You don't have to back into it this way. It doesn't work this way. So these are terrible. Oh, really? Top Nordic. Wire to wire. These are all bad. Whole score. Ooh, yeah. See, these are, if you know golf, maybe. you know these actual holes, then you could play these. Hole 16 nearest to the pin between these three guys. Let's go. So I literally promise you that all these are terrible. Okay, to make the cut. How about to miss the cut? I don't want to make. I don't want to making the cuts for losers. I want to see if I want to bet someone to make the cut, to miss the cut. Yeah, I don't want to do that. But this is what we're gonna do. Just for you, MD. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna go tournament winner. We're gonna go Matt Fitzpatrick. We're gonna go a couple. We're gonna go Matt Fitzpatrick for. I mean, just because it's not my play, we're gonna go lucky 18. We're gonna go $18 on Matt Fitzpatrick. We're also gonna go, obviously, because it's in the air. We're gonna have to go $18 on Minwoo Lee. And then again, because again we threw it out in the universe, we're gonna send it in on Bobby McIntyre for 180. 180 to win 10,000. And since you put him in there, Mr. Perry, we're gonna find the Rasmus Holland. And since you have to do another thing of another multiple of the 180, we're gonna play Rasmus Holland. So that's what we got. We got Rasmus Holland. We got all the guys you mentioned. Minwoo Lee. We have Matt Fitzpatrick, and then we have what's his name, Robbie McIntyre to win. And as you'll see, Ace Mind has frozen. Check configuration setting, and that's going to be it. Let's give one more look see at the lineups here and see what we have. It's a terrible night. But let's take a look at this floor general, see who ended up winning. It was not J187. He got beat by a quarter point by the commish. Am I playing them my lineups? I have no idea. I put my line. I'll let you know after lock. I put my stuff in. I use my process, and whatever I get, I get. So this guy held on. I guess FanDuel is still going because of those late games. Oh, okay. This is sort of a sweat. Like I'm right on the cusp of cashing in one of these bad boys. This hang time. Let me see. Who do I need in this? I need Draymond Green. No, that game's over. So I need Paolo Banchero. He's my one remaining guy. And BC Bologna. Oh, this is a war actually. These two. This is obviously a really good player. He has. Oh my God, Shea. Oh, he's out of the game. No, he's dead. Yeah, he's not coming back. I don't imagine. Yeah, so he's not going to get there. I presume Mazza. Everybody had Shea. Is that the story? Oh, great. I'm glad that. Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm out of money now, running man, so I can't play Stevens. I can't play Novak. But what I can do, I can at least take a look at these guys, see how they rate. I mean, why not? And I'm going to get out of here. What does Andrew Novak look like? I mean, he's way down the list. I mean, there's a lot of better guys. And Sam Stevens, he's up there a little bit, so he's actually not bad. But my favorite, as you can see, just based on projections of the 7,600 guys, you see these like Horschel. He's still in the game, SGA. It doesn't matter though because both those guys have it. Danny McCarthy, like all these. Hey, and the aforementioned Matt Fitzpatrick. Yep. So Fitzy is going to be the guy to get MD home. I'll tell you what, MD, if you for real do that, and you actually put a screenshot, or you even I don't even need a screenshot. You just tell me your username because I'll search for it, and I'll see if anybody actually went all in on Matt Fitzpatrick. But sneaky, right? Didn't think I'd turn that into anything mildly educational, but we got a chance to look at the distribution of results. We got a chance to look at the betting markets. So you never know where the content will come from. One quick other thing before I get going here. Should I try this one more time? Let's just see what did I do wrong here. Oh, because the standard deviation didn't get in there? Ooh. Let's try this again. Just for fun. Let me try one more time. Let's see what Sabersim can do for me. Make it all right, so let's put in win percentage. I don't know what the problem is here. Make cut percentage, win percentage. Standard deviation not available. Oh, right. How do we STDDEV? I think that's what it is. And that's what we have to do here. Okay. So let's do this. And that's the problem is that there's no way that I'm going to sleep until I figure out what's wrong with this thing. One more time, and then we'll give up. So all these things, why is the win probability not been used? Oh, so they're all in here. I bet you this is going to work now. Okay, so People's Open Special. You'll see 5 generations. Let's see if this works. We'll give it just a minute. Oh, look at that. So validating data. Now, one thing that's cool about AceMind is that it doesn't just simulate against one field. It actually constructs 5 fields based on my numbers. And you see what it's doing here. So it's generating 46,000 lineups. You see that? This is 47,058 entries. I guess that's why it's building this many lineups, which I guess means that a couple of them are going to be duped. So let's see if this kind of plays out. And I'm going to show you these because this is not necessarily what I'm going to play. Ooh, let's see if this works. You see, it teased me a little bit in that it ran this. While this is going on, I just want to make sure. I'm sure the answer is no. I just want to make sure that what the schedule is tomorrow so I can see what's going on. First of all, there's no League of Legends tomorrow. Oh, there is. Oh, my God. Do I have to do this? Oh, it's Friday. Okay, fine. Friday, we'll deal with that. Tennis for tomorrow. Oh, there are 15 games. So I am going to get up and play those. So what I'm going to do is we're going to save these. We're going to save some dummy lineups. You know what we're going to do, just for the hell of it? And I'll max this one out. Whatever, 34 is fine. We'll play the break point. We're playing. Where's the qualifier? Is there a qualifier there? Yeah, not getting the qualifier. Okay. Put these in. And let's check on AceMind again. And let's build. Yeah, it's not working. Boy, I really thought that it was going to make this work, but it just Ace Mine is kind of screwing me up today. So let's while we're here, just kind of show you again. I'm sure everybody's gone by now, but let's build the tennis. I mean, why not, right? Let's build the tennis. So first thing we're going to do again is upload those dummy lineups that I just created. Okay. Where are you? Now I'm definitely going to change these after I do my own sheets here. This is going to be 30 entrants, so we have to do this separately. First is going to be 35%, and cash is going to be 25%. Okay, build lineups. Just using the SaberSim projections. Again, it's better than nothing. I don't need to build 5,000 for the. Well, you know what? Let's build however many are going to be in the contest. 1,670. We'll do that for now. And I do have to go after this because I have to take my dog out. All right, so sorting through the lineups. And we're not doing anything other than just kind of the normal, like building the contest sims with what's here. We are actually going to use the SaberSim contest fields, at least for now, just to get us something. And we'll just put direct fill in for now. But what I want to do is take a look at that big spreadsheet to see if they're identifying any dupes. I'll tell you what I had some real good luck with today, by the way, is using that Pater dupe predictor. It's actually, whatever formula they're using is actually pretty sharp. Sharp. It happened to have worked out today. Let's go back. Let's go back to Ace Mine. Oh, Ace Mine's working. Oh, look at that. We're gonna get back to that. In the meanwhile, let's take a look and see what this pool of lineups looks like that we created in tennis. So again, we've screw basketball, right? We're waiting for the Ace Mine simulations to run for golf. And while that's happening, we're taking a look at the initial run of the tennis sheets or the tennis lineups, specifically to come over here and see if there's any dupes that are predicted over here. I would bet no. No, a couple of them are predicted to have some dupes. But again, the SaberSim dupe predictor specifically for tennis is pretty brutal. But I mean, one way you can do it is you could go ahead and just, if you felt like it, what you would want to do is you'd want to wipe out all these. And then what you'd want to do then is then resort by something like good, like win rate or even ROI. And these are the ones that you would use. Again, like this presumed that the dupe calculator or the dupe predictions of SaberSim were any good. And let's just say that that's not their best feature. But let's replace these at least for now with this. These are always, again, just in case we forget or we oversleep, and we're not oversleeping this time. It was like 4 a.m. I might oversleep. 7 in the morning? Can't imagine the last time I slept past 7. Actually, that's not true. Oh, wait 1 second. And then we'll check out the Ace Mine stuff. And then we're going to go. And then my dog has to go out. Let's see. All right. So this is almost working. Hold on, let me just text my wife. Let me tell her I'm getting. Oh, you know what? See, this is what's life living in Sheets world. Okay, I'm like conditioned to always have to go up and put the dog down before 11:30, and I was just getting. Oh my god, I have to tell her that I'm on my way up, and then I forgot that I actually dropped the dog off at the dog sitter tonight. So there's actually no dog in the house. So I was about to go look for a dog that wasn't there. This is what happens when you stay up too late and your brain is on many different tracks. So completed 4 field simulations. I mean, you really got to earn it here with Ace Mine. And now I'm like intrigued. What's good about, by the way, with Ace Mine is there's an issue with preparing lineups. Is that if there's an issue, they have this like job summary. So if in fact you wanted to do this, it would produce, as many lineups as you could. And again, I don't want to curse this yet, and there it is. And as you would see, if you did 150 lineups using whatever you did, you would get 90% Scotty Scheffler. Yep, that's what you would get using Ace Mine's algorithm at min unique 1. Oh, the cat thing? Yeah, that's funny. And here, even with Ace Mine, you can go min uniques 2. You can do whatever you want. Unfortunately, you're not gonna get off of Scheffler. I mean, you go min uniques 3, but now you know what you're doing. Now you're doing it for the sake of doing it. So I'm very glad that I'm not looking to see what I had, but unfortunately, I think I know what I'm going to end up having. Anyway, so this is the way you would use this, and here you could actually do with Ace Mine. You could do something similar to SaberSim. You could download these and get a big report. I'll show you somewhere. Yeah, hold on. And this rates things in certain ways. So this one actually rates them by geomean, for example. You're never going to have a geomean problem here. Sim dupes. Now, here's a quiz. How can you have a quarter? And how can this one be in 0.75? This is your quiz. As I say, pause the video. Well, as you may have noticed, they did run 4 sims. They ran 4 sims. So if appeared once in, I think, you know what I mean? So if it appeared in one of the 4, I guess, it gives you 0.25 dupes. I think that's what they said to me before. And you can sort these by ROI. And one other thing with Ace Mine, I'll give them one other thing, is that if you didn't want it to change the way these are ranked, like right now I have it rated by 100% ROI, but apparently, best practices, depending on the contest, you could rate it like 70% of the results would be from ROI, 10% would be based on ownership, 10% would be on win percentage, 10% top 1% finishes or whatever, and then you run it again, and you can change whatever you want, and maybe get different results. Okay. And to answer and to your point, Running Man, I'll share one story that I remember. When my wife and I first got married, after about a year or so, somebody asked, so you guys have been married for a little while, you guys gonna get a dog? And I'm like, no way, that's way too much responsibility. We're gonna have children. So that was my one story to leave with you guys. All right, that's gonna do it. I will see you